Every time I've tried to define the St. Edward's University motto, I've always focused on the second half of the phrase rather than the first. I focused on trying to figure out what my world looked like. Yet, it wasn't until I got to Spain that I realized I had completely overlooked the first half of the motto. I didn't know what it took to take on my world. Since I've arrived in Spain, I've learned 3 major lessons: be brave, be present, and be open. And they've taught me the how behind the university motto. One of the most attractive aspects about studying abroad is the independence, yet it is also one of the most daunting aspects. When you're immersed into a new country with a new culture, language, lifestyle, and even cuisine, it can be hard to adjust or avoid getting homesick. It is scary to be thrown into the unknown. In my experience, the independence made me feel kind of lonely. It would have been so easy for me to hole myself up in my apartment and avoid having to deal with the independence, the unfamiliarity, and the fear that came with stepping outside of my door. But all it takes is one simple moment to remind you that you have what it takes to succeed and really grow from this newfound independence because you're brave. My moment actually came to me when I was in Morocco. I had signed up for a trip to tour the northern cities of Morocco in October. I didn't know anyone on the trip, and I was scared that I had made a bad decision because the independence was going to my head or something. I had zero expectations about what could happen or whom I was going to meet, which was actually pretty nerve-wracking for a person like me who was constantly in control. I was riding a camel across Tangiers Beach when it finally hit me. I was in Morocco, having the time of my life. I had built up all the courage inside of me to immerse myself in this experience, the same courage it took for me to even apply to study abroad in the first place. My bravery made me spontaneous and willing to take leaps of faith that landed in amazing adventures. Seeing the fruits of my bravery made it easier to step outside of my house every day, ready to see what the world had to offer. I found the independence attractive, again, and I found myself getting involved in the culture more frequently. I learned my second lesson in Ireland. Studying abroad opened the world to me, and being in Spain allowed me access to a lot of different countries for cheap flights, which is something I certainly took advantage of. I wanted to see as much as I could and travel as often as I could. Part of having these experiences also meant making an effort to capture them with pictures so I could show them off when I got home. So honestly, my mother would kill me if I didn't take any pictures. But it wasn't until I was standing on the cliffs of Moher that I realized I was hiding behind my phone. I'd been using my phone as a wall between myself and the world around me. I made an effort to take as many pictures as I could to prove I had been physically present, yet I quickly realized that I wasn't making the same effort to be mentally present. I was in Ireland. I was fulfilling a dream I had had for a long time, but I was more preoccupied with my phone that I couldn't appreciate the moment. I realized I wasn't actually looking at the cliffs. I'd only looked at them through my phone. I decided to put my phone away in order to absorb and appreciate the natural beauty around me. I'd have plenty of time to look at the cliffs through my phone when I got home, but what better time to appreciate them than when I was actually standing on them? I observed and soaked it all in so that I could remember how I felt when I was standing on the edge, peering out over into the ocean, watching the waves crash mercilessly against the unprotected rock. It was magical. That's when I learned what it meant to be truly present. It's a 2-part process, starting with putting your phone away and ending with taking a deep breath while reconnecting and reflecting on the world around you. I learned the last lesson recently in Madrid. My friends and I had a debate about PC culture, and each of us had drastically differing opinions and views on the topic, and we eventually got into a heated disagreement. I realized that we were all coming from a variety of socioeconomic and political backgrounds. We were Lebanese, Italian, French, Mexican-American, and British. We were all trying to express ourselves, yet we weren't open to hearing about one another. As the world gets bigger, there are more and more people in it with a myriad of views, opinions, and perspectives. It is important to be open to hearing and understanding those people when we come in contact with them because that's how we facilitate tolerance and peaceful communication. This is one of the hardest things I've had to learn while being abroad because we all come in with our own perspectives and they influence how we see the people around us. It takes a lot of strength to be able to find the balance between your own ideals while also being receptive to others, especially when they differ from our own. While I learn these lessons abroad, I still think that they're taking time to truly internalize, but I don't plan on giving them up anytime soon. I want to bring them home and apply them to my life, and I think that's one of the biggest and hardest aspects of taking on your world, ensuring the lessons you learn are sustainable to transform your life in the long term. Even though I learn these lessons at different times, I think they all intertwine and work together, because you need to be open to be brave, and present to be open, and brave to be present. It's my hope to continue living these lessons and grow from new ones in the future. Thank you.